I love Scott Evil's journey as a character. How much room were you given to shape his personality? And what was your approach as a comedian who was really often playing the straight man to Mike Myers?
There was a lot of room for me to shape what his personality would be. And I, in this instance, thought the funniest I could be is the straightest straight man. Wow. Because everything around this character is outrageous.
Right.
If this character is like the niece in the Munsters, she's the audience's POV of like, oh my God, all these people are crazy. And yet everybody in the family is like, nah, this is just where we are.
Right.
Our dad's Frankenstein and your grandpa is a vampire and your mom is the bride of Frankenstein. This is what it is. But if you're like, oh, I've got to put on my school clothes and none of this is abnormal, you're the weirdo. And so I thought about Scott Evil like that. Mm-hmm. The real story of this boy is that he was conceived in a lab and then raised by a bunch of scientists without any real parents.
Right.
And then his dad shows up, who's a freak, a global terrorist, and he's like, I want to have a relationship with you. And that kid's like, hey, go fuck yourself.
Right.
So the more serious I played that, the funnier it would get. The more Dr. Evil is like, and the more I'm like, come on, man, this fucking hurts. Like, you're hurting me. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just funny. And so by the time we go on Springer, and you've got this kid like begging to the audience, right? My dad's crazy. And the dad's like, well, name my testicles piss and vinegar. And I'm like, right? Look at my dad. And even better, you see all those kids that go on Springer that are working this shit out. And they've like got piercings and they got their hair all dyed. And they're like, you don't know me. Right. You don't know me. And I was like, let me be that kid.
Yeah, you're like an emo.
Exactly.
Right. You said that your Scott Evil was the audience POV.
Yeah.
And so it's so crazy how things tied together in my mind. I was watching Changeland, your movie. We're going to talk about that later. But you and Brecken have a great exchange in that movie, which I find personally hilarious. When you're like, it's like Fast and Furious. He's like, I get to be Vin Diesel. You're like, which character am I? He's like, literally any other character.
Yeah.
And I am a huge fan of these Fast and Furious movies for all the wrong reasons. I'm a huge fan of them because of how decadent they are and how fucking ridiculous they are.
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna do next? And Tyrese is the audience POV.
Yes.
Because if you watched him, well, he's just yelling the whole movie.
Yeah.
He's just like, ah, ah, what the fuck? This is crazy. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
In the new one, I was sitting watching it with someone who had never seen any of them. So I'm like, watch it as if Tyrese is us.
Yeah.
Right? Tyrese is speaking for us. And in the new one, Fast 9, or Fast Saga, which doesn't even make sense as a title, right? Fast Saga, that's the name of the movie?
Sure.
What?
Okay,
sure.
They just run at.
There's a part in the movie where Tyrese breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And he says, yo, don't y'all think it's ridiculous that we do all these things? We're beating terrorists. He said, yo, look at my jacket. It has bullet holes. I didn't get shot. The last movie, it was a submarine. We were fighting a submarine. Don't y'all think it's crazy? And I'm watching it like, yo, Tyrese is saying exactly what I feel.
But Luda's going like, nah, man, this is just where we at.
Because Ludacris is like, represents Hollywood land.
But they're in space in this movie. Like they're orbiting. They like strapped a car to a rocket.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you use the car? Why is the car?
Because where else are you going to go after the submarine? After Charlize comes with the submarine.
Yep.
And then they jump the cars. They're in Siberia with Lamborghinis on ice.
Yeah.
Racing Lamborghinis on ice.
They don't even have studded tires. That's the best part.
And they say when Tyrese picks out the Lamborghini.
They don't even have studded tires.
Tyrese picks out the Lamborghini and the guy goes, it's Kurt Russell goes, are you sure you want the Lamborghini? Yeah, I want the Lamborghini. And I'm like, no, you're going to have to drive that on ice. Why do you want this?
Yeah.
That's a whole different universe of movies.
It's great though. That is like a multiverse where Tyrese is the Wile E. Coyote.
Tyrese is arguing with The Rock in real life. So now The Rock and Jason Statham have to be in another movie in the movie world. It's really strange.
I'll watch them all. It's very entertaining.
In Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Did you catch the Italian Job reference?
I did.
You caught that.
I did. It made me wonder if we're all in the same
universe.
The universe.
You're in the Fast saga.
Does that mean that Handsome Rob was just like going by different names?
Yo, that's what they're implying.
Does that mean that if I'm ever in a Fast movie, I gotta play the Napster?
You're playing the Napster in the Fast movie.
What happened to that guy?
Is that guy the same guy from Enemy of the State?
Different guys.
Different guys.
The Enemy of the State guy's a different guy.
They're both like computer guys, though, right?
I played a lot of computer guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. Now you can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it.